The Age of IoT, Part 2. When asked how he felt about the Internet of Things, John Romke is quoted as having replied, "I have mixed feelings. There are such wonderful possibilities for science, medicine, the environment, and just everyday convenience, and there are such nightmarish science fiction scenarios, particularly around security vulnerabilities that are epidemic in the IoT." End of quote. In light of the above, what can we expect? 1. Democracy will meet technocracy. Currently, key players in 2020 are on the move and in the race for automation, environmental change, and surveillance under the guise of security, as evidenced by the following. 1. Amazon Ring's latest camera, the Always Home Cam, that maps the inside of a person's home. 2. Google Street View cars that provide a 360-degree video map of streets, including residential areas. Google Loons that aim at providing internet access for rural or remote regions of a country by beaming Wi-Fi via a fleet of high-altitude balloons. In Kenya, where the model has been launched, Google is simultaneously collaborating with the largest public and privately owned telecommunications companies to also provide smartphones. Google AMP, or Accelerated Mobile Pages, whereby Google, on the basis of its dominance in search, forced websites, specifically news publishers, to create or replicate AMP versions of their articles. Without it, publisher articles will be extremely unlikely to appear in the top stories carousel on mobile search in Google. Additionally, Google has partnered with WordPress, a content management system that helps users to easily create and manage a website. Currently, WordPress powers 30% of all websites online. 3. Facebook's Libra, a blockchain-based global payment system weighed against real-world currencies that was set to be launched worldwide. With a user base of 2.2 billion, that would amount to 28.5% of the world's population. 4. The Modern Computing Alliance, a consortium of technology companies that include Google, Dell, Zoom, and Intel, among others, that aim to share information and resources around their clients' work online, with the aim of developing new standards and merging their technologies. 2. The disruptors will be disrupted. Privacy will be the cornerstone of the age of IoT, and coincidentally, it won't be about access control, but rather access-free infrastructure, restricting access to the platform owners themselves as a standard and measure of protection against mass surveillance and misuse. From the onset, the lack of such security measures undoubtedly set big tech, namely Facebook, Google, Amazon, and Apple, on a collision course with consumers, their own lawmakers, and foreign governments worldwide, of which the ongoing antitrust hearings in the US and EU are proof enough. On the flip side, the COVID-19 pandemic has served as a wake-up call to the public on the importance of privacy given the reality of remote working for themselves and remote learning for their children. Therefore, as the dominant players mistakenly race to automate, antitrust hearings will only serve to erode the public's confidence as the depth of violations are exposed, causing consumers to find more trustworthy alternatives. The inevitable is a mass exodus, and with it, a change of guard. This new guard is exemplified by the following. Privacy first. The future is not just private, but privacy first. We are in an age when people will have to come before profits, primarily to avoid having this same technology used as a tool to subjugate humanity rather than serve it. As a result, the individuals to look out for in this era are not just purely talented, intelligent, and ambitious, but they also operate with a sense of ethos and are able to balance between passion and caution. Trust remains the currency, but no longer in technology alone. It has shifted to take note of the mind and motive behind the solutions being proposed. The Misfits. IQ meets EQ. Upon his retirement, Alibaba founder Jack Ma was once asked what the future of tech looked like and what to look out for, and he's quoted as having said, "Look out for the youth and look out for women." A statement that could easily be mistaken for flattery then proves itself to be entirely insightful in light of the current circumstances. Indeed, for there to be a change, a new crop of innovators must arise, visionaries who can see not only for themselves, but for us all. And empathy, the single most distinguishing factor of EQ, is found in the younger generation and even more so in the misfits of technology, that is, women. In this new era, look out for women. Outliers and the rise of Internet privacy companies. Outliers, those on the fringe of cybersecurity and Internet privacy, will also arise with an influx of new devices, apps, software, and protocols that are privacy centered. Led and exemplified by individuals and organizations such as Signal, an end-to-end encrypted messaging platform led by former founder of WhatsApp Kevin Acton. Moxie Marlinspike, cryptographer and computer security researcher who is responsible for the largest deployment of consumer end-to-end encryption. Privacy browsers such as Brave and internet privacy companies such as DuckDuckGo and Mozilla. Technologies decentralized. Rather than having all sectors of society heavily dependent on technology companies to create solutions, companies in their respective industries and countries will engage their technologists to create tailor-made solutions in-house. Among the general public, demand is likely to be created as users prefer a localized or independent alternative to big tech. For example, Symphony is an instant messaging service for financial firms. It was built as an internal messaging system by Goldman Sachs, then referred to as Live Current. The platform supports encryption, group messaging, rich content sharing, and third-party plugins. Symphony comes up against Facebook's WhatsApp and Messenger. Zoho Corporation, an Indian software company headed by siblings Radha and Sridhar Vembu, a former Silicon Valley software engineer. Zoho provides email client services and office suites for its now 50 million plus subscribers. Their competitors